welcome back to the channel. So today we are out showing some property. I'm about to leave here now to go do that, but anyway, figured I'd bring you guys along for that. And now that we're kind of wrapping up a couple projects here, we're going to try to get back into the swing of things. We got a nanny coming in next week to try and kind of help us out managing kids and schoolwork and whatever else is going on. So anyway, excited to get back to work, like full tilt work at least. But anyway, gonna go show some property and give you guys a little more like understanding, I guess, of my process, what I like to do with my buyers especially, and what I tell them to look out for, what I tell them to do, not to do, that type of stuff. So anyway, we are going from Sandy Springs to Alpharetta. So about a, I don't know, 25 minute drive or so. Not too far, not too bad. And so it's May 1st. This is the first time I've showed property in about 3 weeks or so, give or take. So again, you know, I've got about 15 buyers right now that I'm working with. 2 or 3 of them have said, look, we're just gonna kind of pump the brakes right now. But you know, everyone else is still looking to go. So super blessed about that. And excited to continue the search for a couple of them. A couple of my investors are still looking. They're especially precautious because of I mean, it's business for them, it's numbers. But they are still looking, and so if the right thing pops up. The problem right now is inventory is so low, and so that's the biggest challenge. But anyway, I'm leaving the neighborhood now, so I'm gonna cut you off here. So here we are, really nice neighborhood up here in Alpharetta. I like to get here a little early, showings at 1, but I like to get here a little early, drive around the neighborhood, kind of see what's going on. Obviously, you can kind of see on FMLS and the local, you know, Georgia MLS what's going on in the neighborhood in terms of properties for sale and recently sold and so on and so forth. But I like to kind of come and get a feel first before I do show a property like this, because it gives you better context, right? And if I've done my research on the front end, I know what houses are on the market, what our competition kind of looks like, you know, the other kind of similar inventory, if you will. So anyway, for the most part, really nice house over there to the left that I just can't show you because I'm really not looking at what I'm filming here. But that one yard was a little rough. Most of these look pretty nice though. I mean, pretty well maintained. This is like in the mid 400s, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I've been looking at a lot of property here lately. So 350 to 450 is a little scarce right now. But anyway, oh, terrible job on that landscaping there. Don't do the crepe murder thing. That's, anyway, for the most part though, outside of some bad horticultural practices, my gosh, all in all, pretty nice. Nice neighborhood. A couple little cul-de-sacs off the main drag here. This is not like a cut-through street or anything. You know, typically this far out in the suburbs, you're not going to see a whole lot of that, but it will happen from time to time. So anyway, you got a contractor over here doing some pressure washing. That's always good to see, people kind of maintaining their homes, keeping things up. I also like to look in the garages because A, you see what kind of cars are in there, but B, you get to kind of see, are people like using these for storage only, or you know, are they like, you know, what's going on basically. So anyway, this is the house here, so we're gonna pull over. Looks like someone else is here, and we're gonna park, let them do their thing. Confirmed, it is $475. It's only been on the market for like 21 hours, give or take. So when I say inventory is low, it's really low. There's already someone here showing the house, obviously. So anyway, but $475, 4 bedroom, 3 bath, like 4,100 square feet, somewhere in there. Great lot though, huge house, and bang for the buck. I mean, this same house in California or New York or New Jersey, like Chicago even, $1 million every day of the week. $1 million, if not more, and especially in California, probably like 3 or 4 million. But anyway, Alpharetta suburb, a little north of Sandy Springs where I am, but kind of a beautiful area. Big houses out here, pretty decent lots. Kind of some neighboring communities, Roswell, Milton, a ton of horse farms and like 2, 3, 4 acre properties out there. But anyway, so here's my thing though. Like, before we go in this house, I'm gonna pull my buyers aside and say, look, Alexa, Siri, like all of the automated stuff going on in this house, cameras, you just never know kind of what you're walking into. And for me, one of the things I like to educate them on is like, look, if you love this house, don't say a word. If you hate this house, do not say a word, because it could be used against us later on. If you walk in the door and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing, this house, this is exactly what we've been looking for. When it comes to negotiating, they're gonna go watch the tape, or they're gonna listen to the recording that they've got or whatever, and go, they said they kind of like it, really. Well, we have video of them saying they love it. And so for me, in this day and age, you have to assume someone is always watching and listening. And so that builds in a lot of integrity for what I do every day, obviously. But for my buyers and for my sellers, I'm also educating them on this, that look, there are tools here that we can use. But I just assume everyone's recording us all the time. So anyway, that's the biggest piece of advice though that I give them before we walk in. Now you can say, oh, this is nice, or, you know, I like that, but like, don't go crazy with it. You know what I mean? Like, keep it middle ground, keep it moderate, if you will. And that will help us in the long term, big time. So anyway, just a quick tip. Okay, so I didn't have a chance to do a video tour here. You saw the couple before us. There's another guy here looking at it now, so we were kind of pressed for time. But anyway, I do have some pictures that I'll put in here real quick so you can see gorgeous, gorgeous bathrooms. I mean, really well done, gorgeous kitchen, nice living space. And I like, you know, how everything just kind of fits together. It's not super open floor plan, you know, but open enough. And to be honest with you, I don't love like wide open floor plans. I mean, you know, you get to a point, diminishing returns, right? Like, there's no walls, you don't know what this room is. and so I like open, semi-open, I would call it. But this one was just totally different. And you know, it wasn't totally shut off. It wasn't totally compartmentalized like a lot of these houses, like from even the early 2000s. This one was built in 2000. And again, just a really nice house, really nice example of what was being done 20 years ago before, you know, pre-crash. You got properties that were bigger, that were, you know, you saw a lot more custom touches and stuff, which is really nice. And yeah, so really nice house, huge basement, the opportunity to put a basement bedroom in as well. There's a room, kind of like a playroom down there now, but you could easily add a closet to this one room and make it another bedroom, a fifth bedroom, which would obviously increase the value of the home. Had a window there already. In Georgia, we call a window and a closet and a room a bedroom, legally at least. So that's nice to have. A little bit of storage area, not as much as I'd like to see for that size house, but nice. And you know, honestly, with the purging that's probably going on right now in the spring market, not a whole lot of people got a bunch of junk sitting around. So anyway, just my quick thoughts though. Nice house. I think a little overpriced, $475. A lot of homes in that area and in that neighborhood in particular, $425 to $450. But someone could snatch this thing up for $475 right now because, again, it's the seller's market. Also, just a quick side note, I didn't get a picture or a video of it, but there was an Alexa, new Alexa in the master bathroom that was plugged in, and it was listening to us. Little yellow ring, I saw what was going on there. So anyway, if you've ever seen that on Alexa, you know she's listening. Back at the house. I appreciate you guys coming along, checking that out. But I thought it would be cool to kind of share too, like as a kid, my mom used to love looking at houses. And so, you know, that's one of the things that I like about real estate is that every house is different. Literally every house is different. Now, you got builders that like did everything the same, and you know, there's no real difference in a lot of these like spec homes that were built. But for me, it's exciting. It's like a whole new adventure to kind of walk into a home, especially with a buyer, because it's exciting. It's a fun time to be with them and to kind of take that next step with them in this next chapter with their life. And so anyway, but you know, as a kid, we just drove around looking at houses, and a lot of them we never actually went in. We just drove like through the neighborhoods and stuff, and there wasn't like ever any like real purpose to it. It was just like something we did, and you know, just walking into houses that were kind of like in the progression of being built and stuff was kind of cool, and I always just enjoyed it. And I knew at some point, you know, even as a younger kid, that I would get into real estate. Like that was just a thing. So anyway, but I appreciate you guys coming along. Thanks so much. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, please. And we got a ton more content coming your way. The market is heating up. Spring is here, and it's going to be super crazy. But hopefully you find something of value here in the day-to-day that is my life and what's going on in real estate here in Atlanta, Georgia, and more specifically Sandy Springs, even though we do break out every once in a while. And if you're watching this and going, oh, I can't use Matt, he doesn't buy or sell houses outside of Sandy. I do. I absolutely do. I sold a lake house up at Lake Hartwell last year, house over in Smyrna. So I'll go anywhere. You just call me up and I'll help you out. Thanks so much for following along, and we'll see you guys soon.